So let's talk about what to do with your budget when life circumstances change, when things are different than they've been previously, or you set up a budget. I hear this all the time. Wow, things changed or just stuff came up, right? So let's talk about what I'm specifically referring to. What kind of things am I talking about that can change? Maybe your income goes down. Maybe one of you in the household quits a job, right? Or one of you, my husband, gets a raise, right? Income changes. Income goes up or down. And I'm not talking about like you have an irregular income and it's different all the time. I'm talking about what your normal income has been is now going to be different, right? Maybe they recalculated your escrow on your mortgage because property taxes or insurance changed, and now your mortgage payment is higher than it was. This also happened to us a couple of months ago. Another thing, maybe you're having a new baby, right? And so you're going to have more expenses like formula or diapers or babysitters or childcare, right? So you have new expenses coming up that you haven't had before. Or maybe you've moved to a new area and you're finding that the cost of living is way different. This actually happened to us when we moved from South Carolina to Colorado. We were, in our minds, busting our grocery budget every single month, and we couldn't figure out why. Turns out groceries are just more expensive in Colorado. And so we had to make some adjustments. So what I'm not talking about in this specific training is emergencies that come up or one-time expenses like car repairs or something happens, right? That's not what I'm talking about. Those are the kinds of things that we have emergency funds for, that we make on the fly adjustments based on what's going on that specific month. I'm talking about regular budget line items that are now different than they were when you set up your budget, right? So what do? The key thing that we need to do is go back to basics. So I recommend that everybody has a simple budget set up as a baseline. And when I say simple, I'm talking about my signature strategy, the simple budget, SIMPLE, which stands for simplify, don't overcomplicate it. Put your income at the top, make a list of your expenses or your categories, prioritize that list, look at each month individually. So in other words, you're going to have a baseline, but then every month you're going to look at it and see, okay, what's going on this month that might be different from last month, right? The little things that change one time. And then E stands for every dollar gets a job. And sometimes the job that we give that dollar is sit there and do nothing, right? Sit and look pretty, sit and be a buffer in my checking account, right? The job that you give the dollar could be nothing, but every dollar needs to have a job of some sort, right? SIMPLE, simplify, income goes at the top, make a list of expenses, prioritize them, look at every month individually, and every dollar gets a job. So everybody should have a simple budget as a baseline, right? This is the one you look at and go, this is generally what most months look like. And then you're going to look at each month individually to see, okay, is there something specific happening this month that needs to be taken care of? So back to basics, get that simple budget set up. Now, when you have that, take that baseline budget and put a star next to anything that is negotiable or adjustable or controllable, right? Your mortgage payment, not negotiable, not adjustable, not controllable, right? Even your utility bills, though they might change and fluctuate a little bit, they're not something that you have a ton of control over. But you do have control over, say, how many times you go to Starbucks. You do have control over your grocery budget, even though sometimes it feels like we don't. You do have control over how much your fund money is, right? So put a star next to anything that is negotiable, controllable, adjustable, right? So that's step 2. So have your simple budget as baseline, put a star next to anything that's controllable. And then the next thing is update whatever needs to be updated. Did your income go up? Did an expense go up? Did you lose an expense, right? Whatever it is, update that thing within your simple budget. Update the thing that needs to be updated. And then you readjust. And when we readjust, what we are trying to avoid is overspending your income. So if your income went way down, then you're going to start at the top and you're going to be subtracting your income from each of these prioritized expenses until you get down towards the bottom. Now, 2 ways to readjust. One is the things that are at the bottom of the list just fall off because they're the lowest priority things. That's one. And the second way is to adjust the things that are adjustable, right? And so take those things that have a star next to them, take that prioritized list and adjust it such that your new current expenses match your new current income. And then back to basics. Start with your foundation, go from there. And now you can see if life has changed and your income has changed, your expenses have changed, you do this adjustment, right? You readjust this budget, give it a month, and see what it looks like, see what it felt like, see if you were like, wow, I thought this was adjustable, but really that's probably the least amount that we could possibly spend on groceries, right? So readjust again if need be after that, again, by dropping things off that are not priority or adjusting things that can be adjusted. Okay. Remember that it's not the end of the world. It's just a new season, new circumstances, and you have the ability to be flexible, make adjustments where needed, and make those changes. Okay. So feel free to share your thoughts in the community and let us know if you have any more questions.